Today's story: the renewal of Al Kaaba. Before we begin, let me ask you all, who has built the Kaaba first? For the first time, I mean. The Kaaba existed by who, and who built it? Well, the answer is not definite to that question. It is said that the angels were the first to build Al Kaaba. It is also said that it was Prophet Adam, and the last say it was the Prophet Abraham. And it is the most agreed upon. Regardless of who built the Kaaba first, with many years and time passing by, the Kaaba was renewed several times. One of the renewal phases was during the Jahiliyyah days, 5 years before the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was sent. As I mentioned previously, Jahiliyyah means ignorance, referring to the days before Islam. What was strange about renewing the Kaaba that period of time was the principle and condition the people made. Quraish tribes decided that all money spent on renewing the Kaaba should only be clean and pure money. In other words, money that was earned with their own hard work and not from theft, or gambling, or bribes, or anything. So they gathered the clean money they have, and now, to start renewing the Kaaba, they need to demolish it first. Yes, they have to break the Kaaba first to renew it. Of course, they used to glorify Al Kaaba. It wasn't an easy thing for them to do. They were actually afraid to do that. They were afraid if they broke the Kaaba, Allah sends them down a punishment right at the same moment they do. So if any of them starts with breaking the Kaaba, would be the hero and a courageous person. The first person who stepped up to break the Kaaba was Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira. No one stepped up to do the first move, so he moved forward. He grabbed the pickaxe to start breaking the Kaaba. But before he did, he looked up at the sky with fear and talked to Allah, saying, "We do not wish to do anything bad. We're doing this with good intentions." And there, he started breaking the Kaaba bricks with the pickaxe. And all of Quraish tribes were watching with nervousness. They were expecting anything to happen to Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira any second. Perhaps something falling from the sky on him? So I think it was better that they keep distance between him and them. If something were to fall off from the sky, I mean. Or maybe just drop dead at any second? A heart attack, maybe? But nothing happened at all. They all went back to their houses, and they all were still afraid that something might happen to Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira during night time. It could be the night time, yeah? It could be the right time, actually. At night it would be even more scary. Well, the next morning, Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira was alive and kicking. Nothing happened to him. So they decided now, and since they sacrificed sheep, Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira was not harmed, they will help him in breaking the Kaaba. They distributed the task of breaking the Kaaba between the tribes, where each tribe handles a part to break. It was finally destroyed completely until they have reached the base of Al Kaaba. The base that was built by Prophet Abraham and his son, Prophet Ishmael. They found that the base was made of stones, colored in green. One of the men came to remove one of those green stones. Once he did remove that green stone, a bright light penetrated to an extent that the man could have lost his eyesight. We can imagine it as if one's eye is directly and closely looking at a flashlight. The man holding the green stone backed away, throwing the stone. And there, the stone itself, yes, the stone, moved on its own and went back to its place and blocked the bright light. Unbelievable, right? This proves that Al Kaaba is truly the house of Allah. After what happened, the tribes agreed not to move the base at all. They agreed to rebuild the Kaaba on top of the green stones. They built the Kaaba all over again, brick by brick, until they've reached the black stone, al-Hajr al-Aswad. The black stone was put by Prophet Abraham, and it was a very special stone. So Quraish tribes have fought over who will place it again. Each and every tribe wants to take the honor of placing the stone. They literally wanted to kill each other for that, just because of the black stone and who has to place it to complete the Kaaba. 5 days. 5 days passed, and they were still fighting over who will take the honor of placing the black stone. There was a man called Abu Umayyah ibn al-Mughira ibn Abdullah ibn Umar ibn Makhzum. He was the eldest amongst the men in Quraish tribes. He stood up while loud shouting and fighting going on over the black stone and calmed all tribes, saying, "We shall decide on who places the black stone now." I mean, it had taken 5 days. That's just way too much. He pointed at the door as they were all sitting in a place where they all used to gather to discuss anything or fight. He firmly and loudly said, "The first man who enters from that door at this moment will be the one who decides upon who will be placing the black stone." They all agreed to that. He asked, "Is it cool with all of you guys?" They all said yes. Okay? Okay. Now let's wait and see who comes from that door. As they were sitting anxiously waiting for a man to enter from that door, the door is opened by the most honest and most trustworthy, Muhammad, peace be upon him. I really think that if it were anyone else entering from that door, they could have still fought over it. They went up to Muhammad, peace be upon him, and told him all about the fight over the black stone to get his judgment. Muhammad, peace be upon him, resolved the dispute in a very simple manner. He simply asked them to bring a small carpet. He grabbed the black stone and put it on top of the carpet. He then told them that every man from each tribe has to grab a part of that carpet so they can all pick up the black stone. They all did as told, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, has lifted the black stone and put it in its place in Al Kaaba. There. Simple. The black stone was put in its place with all Quraysh tribes contributing to the honor. It was a simple solution coming from the wisest Muhammad, peace be upon him. As a new piece of information for any of you who don't know, the Kaaba looked really different than the way it is now. It used to have 2 doors, not 1. And when it comes to the Kaaba's cover, which is black in color nowadays, the fabric used to cover al-Kaaba was named al-Qabāṭī. That fabric of the Kaaba used to be made all the way from Egypt. Then came al-Burd, that fabric which was made from Yemen. And lastly came al-Dibāj fabric. Al-Dibāj fabric has covered the Kaaba by an order from a very, very famous character named the Caliph Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. The one who took action to his order was al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi. A man named Abdullah ibn Zubayr has also renewed al-Kaaba building. But he did it just the way the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, wished to have it look like. Just exactly like the shape Prophet Abraham and his son Prophet Ishmael built. However, al-Hajjaj killed Abdullah ibn Zubayr and reconstructed the Kaaba the way we see it nowadays, with one high door and a cubed shape. I suggest that you guys read a little bit more about these characters. Their stories are really interesting. Anyway, by many years and time passing by, the Kaaba was renewed several times until one man, Al-Imam Malik, stopped caliphs from constantly renewing and rebuilding the Kaaba. And it stayed the way it is now. Now for next time, we will talk about how Quraish tribes started messing up real bad by creating their own rules and religious rituals for Al Kaaba. They messed up really bad. Make sure to never miss the drama they made.